Yes. How are you people? Uh, I'm good. I'm okay. And my name is Ken. And there's always something that I wanted to share with the world. And it is about subject. Sorry, sorry for the noise. It is about a subject. Uh, Science is a science question, and concerns mostly thermodynamics, and is the idea of perpetual motion machines or free energy or motion machines of the first and second kinds. Uh, of course, I don't think that we can make energy from nothing. But in thermodynamics, there is a concept of usable energy. There is usable energy, and there is unusable energy. Okay, these are types of energy, like the energy in the air molecules at room temperature. There is energy there, but you cannot use it to run a steam turbine, for example. Okay, or to run an something like a Stirling engine. All right, because it is at equilibrium. It's no gradient. Okay, so it is unusable, but it is there. There is energy. Okay, and then there is a second case of usable energy. That is in fuels, sunlight. Use solar cells to harness that. So my question has been this so-called unusable energy. Can we devise clever ways to harness so-called unusable energy? Okay, or to harness energy from an equilibrium. All right, and we come right, into the concept of entropy and Maxwell's demon. Uh, it is a thought experiment by Maxwell, the scientists, to create a gradient from equilibrium, and then you can harness that gradient possibly when you create it. All right, so it's a demon that sorts hot from cold molecules, and one side of the box gets hot and the other gets cold, and that way maybe you can run a Stirling engine from the gradient, and you will have used the unusable energy by first of all creating a gradient, and then using an engine like a Stirling engine, which can use small temperature difference to run, and then you run it and you get energy. You can rotate a dynamo. Okay, so that is the concept of the Maxwell's demon. You create the gradient and then you harness the gradient, because when we look at the subject of 0 point energy, there's some music coming from somewhere. Pardon me for that. So, when it comes to the subject of 0 point energy, it is there, but at equilibrium. Okay, there is no gradient to it. Yeah, so I was talking about the famous 0 point energy. Can we harness it? Several people have harnessed it or claimed to have harnessed 0 point energy through the spectrum is large. There are people that less likely to most likely harness 0 point energy. There are many people on instances and spectrum. Using high frequency, high voltage electronics, others using spells and magic, others using nano structures like the Casimir, the Garrett model thing. He uses cavity induced currents, and the cavity is a Casimir cavity, a small structure, and between the plates of a Casimir cavity, the 0 point there is lower, so there is a gradient, and electrons are excited, and tunnel through a certain diode in that setup, and that constitutes a current, and it is unidirectional, It favors tunneling of electrons towards one side, the side with the cavity, because there is less 0 point energy. Alright. So the device is claimed to make usable energy from an equilibrium. It's not really an equilibrium. You created the gradient and then you've harnessed it. Brilliant idea. That's more believable than anything. But the problem is the power output is minuscule, small. Alright? That's the problem with that Casimir cavity approach. Alright? And the other examples of people who've claimed to earn a 0 point energy is Kapanansi, Don Smith, Tesla, the water fuel car guy, Mayor. The list is long. Those use special design high voltage, high frequency circuits. Alright. It is always not very clear their methodology, and sometimes they don't even claim to be harvesting 0 point energy, but the big claim is that they are harnessing 0 point energy using high frequency, high voltage circuits. Tesla, everybody talks about Tesla and Don Smith, and the list goes on, and so I was thinking, I've been thinking about this, and I am still thinking, and it seems like I have found a way to not just harness 0 point energy, but also create longitudinal waves. If you have, a lake and suddenly you scoop up some water from the middle of the lake, that turbulence will go, will spread out through the whole lake. Okay, that disturbance, not turbulence. And for the same for 0 point energy, if I am able to harness a portion of 0 point energy, from a location in space, then that effect will ripple across space-time in the form of longitudinal wave. Also, I do think that if I'm able to harness 0 point energy, then we have the great answer of anti-gravity. Okay? Yeah, because if you pump 0 point energy from one portion to another portion, then I think there should be a reaction that will give you propulsion. Alright? Action and reaction. Or you can think about it like this. You pump 0 point energy from above your craft to below your craft. So under your craft there is higher density 0 point energy, and above the craft there is lower density 0 point energy. So there will be a cushion causing you to experience, a force which can be used against gravity. It's not really anti-gravity, but it can counter gravity even in the vacuum of space without pumping air or ejecting mass. Alright? Yeah, creating the gradient. When you create a gradient, the 0 point energy, like a Casimir cavity, it creates a gradient, and electrons want to go to the region of the lowest energy. And if you magnify that to bigger proportion, it is anti-gravity right there in front of your nose. Okay. Yeah, but as a Casimir cavity itself cannot be used as an anti-gravity. You have to pump the energy from above your craft to below your craft, like an airplane pumps air from above the wing to below the wing through the angle of attack. It scoops air from above to below. Okay? You have to do the same for energy in the 0 point, so that you can create a cushion that you can sit on and become another UFO sighting. Alright, so that's my idea. It's a big one. I feel and I'm convinced that I have the way to do that. Harness 0 point energy, create longitudinal waves, possible anti-gravity or new way of propulsion. Yeah, and you never know. Yeah, so that is my proposal. The problem is I don't have the money to do it. I hope you see where it is going. Okay, but they say a pen is more powerful than a sword. It's no problem. I think my theory still reigns supreme. Okay, even if I don't get $1 billion of funding, or anything like that, or even people don't give attention, it doesn't matter. It is always true, regardless of who is looking at it. Okay, so that's my proposal. Hope I'm not wrong again, like I'm usually am. I hope I am not wrong. And it's a simple method. It's, you know, it is it's a clever trick to harness 0 point energy. I will keep sharing it with you people. If you're interested, you can reach me, write a comment. I will share also in depth how I think this would work, and I will share it freely with everybody. And hopefully we finally nail, this mystery. Alright? Great. Be blessed. I will see you next time. Thank you.